Hey Cole, good to see you again.
Long time no see, John.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it's
I noticed.
really it's remarkable that you and I, after a week, would meet again and you'd be wearing the same shirt and I'd be wearing the same shirt. What are the chances?
Yeah, but you got a different background.
I do. I changed my background.
That's really nice. I didn't because I don't know how to do that, so I'm technologically challenged.
So what are we talking about today?
So last time we talked about, and we were a little facetious about, getting a guidebook and everything. Cole, what I've learned, probably the biggest revelation and the biggest thing that's changed my photography is recognizing and understanding my process. And I'll even dare go as far as to say that I believe this is everybody's process, at least this part of it. We don't take pictures. And a matter of fact, I've gotten to the place where I'm not sure I even like that language. I believe we are first taken, and then it's our responsibility to do something with that part of the process. In other words, we don't go out to take something. We're really going out to be taken. And that's why we say, wow, or that's why we go, or that's why something turns our head and we go, oh my gosh, look at that. It's because we're being taken. And to me, this is just a continuation of our last discussion in a way. And I think it would be fun for us to share a couple of images here. We just got back from Death Valley and the Alabama Hills, where we had two wonderful groups. As a matter of fact, today we had a follow-up Zoom session, and it was fabulous to see all of the different images from the same stinking locations that we were all standing in. And so why don't you go ahead first, Cole, and share something that you were taken by and that caused you to kind of stop and say, I want to make a photograph. And again, thinking to the audience here, remember what we're talking about the last time is trying to make honest work. And if you're going to go with the guidebook, you're probably not going to get the two images that we're going to share with you today. So,
Well, I'm sure this image must be in the guidebooks.
oh,
As
that's
the
true.
one of the most iconic shots of Death Valley. Let's
Okay.
see if I can share it with you.
All right. I can't wait.
Right there.
That's
Now I've
exactly the one I was going to show.
I've been working on my Powerline series for some time, and so my mind is really focused when I'm driving down the road. And I just saw this great scene of the dark and the light and the I don't know, just everything
Oh,
about it attracted me. I guess the clouds too, being able to get those little grouping of clouds. But you know what I've also learned is when you see something that you're taken with, you got to act quickly.
boy, do
This
you
scene
ever.
wasn't there for about a few minutes before those clouds had regrouped in a different way.
Yeah, you never want to go, you know what, I'll go to lunch and
Yeah,
then I'll come back and
yeah,
get that on the way back.
not going to happen.
No,
So
you
that
really
was my
need.
favorite image from Death Valley. And, you know, I always have this saying that if I come home with one image that I really, really love, it was a successful trip. And this was my image.
Yeah, I think that's a really valuable piece of information for those watching again. I mean, what Cole just said was if he goes and shoots whatever, 1,000 images for that trip, he's happy to come home with one of that quality. Now, I think you had a few more, as you mentioned in our last episode. I think you had 28 that you were considering showing, in Instagram or social or wherever. That's pretty good hit ratio. Unfortunately, I got this big camera in the way here. Let's see if I can share mine quickly here. Share, sorry,
Now, would
guys.
this be your favorite image from that trip?
Well, it'll be, I think it's one. Okay, why can't I should hit the F key? Why is that not working? Let's do this again. Hit F. There we go. I don't know if it's necessarily my favorite, but it certainly rises up to the top. And it's only because once again, in this discussion at least, this is from the Alabama Hills, and here we are in Death Valley in the Alabama Hills, and we both have something from the eastern side over on the eastern Sierra side. But this was just out wandering around, and my intent was to be photographing those wonderful rock structures that are in the Alabama Hills. But then I looked up instead of looking down, and I went, oh my gosh, look at that cloud up over the White Mountains. And this is looking at the Whites. It's not looking at the Sierra behind me, where Mount Whitney is behind me
Right,
this
right.
time, right? And so a couple of thoughts come to my mind, Cole. Oftentimes I and many others can be caught in, hey, I'm in the Alabama hills and you got to have Mount Whitney behind you, right? Whitney's got to be in the scene, or the not Whitney, as you like to call it.
Yes, not Whitney.
I think it's Mount Williamson. Josh Cripps will correct me, I'm sure, if that's wrong. But, that's, again, that expectation of what you're supposed to have or should have, or what the guidebook says, like we talked about in the last episode, just, it doesn't make any sense to me, right? Let's photograph what you're being taken by. And to me, this is a really good example of being taken by that particular scene. And I couldn't help but stop and start making photographs, and nothing else mattered at that point. That's all I cared about, was that particular scene.
And we've talked about this, but going with an expectation. I'm going to the Alabama hills. I want to get those dark hills with the bright Whitney behind me, and so you become blind to anything else. And we stumbled across a great section of rocks we had never photographed before.
Really good.
It's just like a gold mine of great images, but they're not the iconic shots, but they're still great shots.
And well, I would even go beyond that, Cole. I would argue that some of the images that you and I made in that particular section are some of my favorites from the Alabama hills now, right? They're not the typical ones that you'll see, but they might have taken maybe a little more effort and process, like we talked about process, right? That process of working through what you stumble on, then making an image, and then looking at it and reviewing it and saying, I need to go to the left, to the right, all that stuff, So it took a little bit more of that for me in this new location, but I really like what I got there.
You think if we made that location famous, they might kind of name it after us? The Cole and John rocks or something like that?
Maybe. I think next time we're there, we should stop in at the town hall and make a suggestion.
Maybe we'll be in the guidebooks one day.
Yeah,
the Cole and John rocks.
That would be fantastic.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Hey, that's a pretty darn good background image. Is that from our recent trip too?
Yeah, it is.
Excellent. I love the light and shadow play on that one. The dunes are fun. So folks, when you're going out, just learn to be taken. Learn to pay attention to what's really causing you to fall in love, as I like to say, and respond to that, and stay with that too. The other thing I notice is people want to go to the next one and the next one. No, stay. I notice your process, Cole, is great. I mean, you'll find a location and I might come back an hour later and you're right in that same location still working.
The driver's seat of the car shooting out the window.
I've been meaning to talk to you about that. There is a different type of tripod you can get for that. It's a window.
Really?
Yeah, window.
Oh,
you don't even need to get out your regular tripod.
Well, I'd heard recently from some friends who hunt, they said you're not allowed to shoot outside car windows. So I don't know. Maybe I'm not supposed to be doing that.
I think they're talking about something else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, all right. That's it for today, folks. Until next time, ring the bell, subscribe,
then ring the
bell, and tell your friends.
Yeah, we're looking to get up to 300 followers. So
yeah,
we need
just
four
need
more.
We need 4 more and we're good to go.
Okay.
See you later, folks. Take care. Bye-bye.